Unless you're Czech or you live in Texas or have lived in Texas, you probably don't know what this is. But either way, consider it your lucky day. So I waited a little too long to put this one out. I didn't know if there was much of an interest in kolaches, but at the end of the day, even if there isn't, I gotta show respect to not just the Czech culture, but just the food culture in Texas. There's a large Czech influence here. Even in Austin, there's a lot of places where you can get really great, well, kolaches, and it's not exactly traditional, but it's really good. Okay? It's basically a pan au lait dough that's wrapping a giant sausage. You can add cheese or whatever. I wanna see people outside of Texas knowing about this and eating this, so here we are. Let's just make this, shall we? Oh hey, this video is sponsored by our friends at Squarespace, which means yes, the website is finally coming. We'll talk about it in the end. So to start things off, we're gonna need to hydrate our yeast. So here we have 1 cup or 240 milliliters of warm milk that's at 98 degrees Fahrenheit or 36 degrees Celsius. Go ahead and stir in 1 tablespoon or 10 grams of instant yeast and then let that sit for 10 minutes. So flour mix. Step 1, forget to film the flour going into the pot, which is 3.5 cups or 510 grams of all-purpose flour. Then add 1 tablespoon or 16 grams of granulated sugar and 1.5 teaspoons or 7 grams of fine sea salt. Give it some whiskey business until, you know, combined. Pour the flour mix into a bowl of a stand mixer, aka Big Bertha. Put on a little spiral attachment thing. Now start mixing that on low speed, and then from there you're gonna add your milky yeast mixture. That doesn't sound good. 2 egg yolks, 3 tablespoons or 45 milliliters of around room temperature water, and 1.5 tablespoons or 15 grams of vegetable oil. Just let that mix on medium-low speed for about 5 to 7 minutes or until it starts to sort of look nice and smooth. Then you're gonna add 1 tablespoon at a time, 4.5 tablespoons or 63 grams of unsalted butter. Just keep gradually adding that butter while it's mixing until you've added all the butter, then just let it mix for an additional 2 to 3 minutes or until nice, smooth, plump, and delectable, or something. Dump your dough and then lightly shape it into a ball, sort of by dragging it around in circles on a tabletop, keeping your hands in contact with the counter the whole time. That'll create some tension and get a nice little ball. Then plop that bad boy into a medium-sized greased bowl, cover it with plastic wrap or a damp towel, and let it rise for 1 hour or until nice and doubled. Now while that's rising, let's talk about sausage. So when you pick your sausage, you really want to make sure that it's the best quality sausage that you can find. Obviously, you know, you can make your own. I do have a guide for that. There will be a link in the description for it. And the second thing is, before you fill these kolache doughs, you need to make sure that your sausage is fully cooked, all right? No raw sausage. You can buy them pre-smoked or just poach them before you do this. Now, once your dough is nice and doubled, we're gonna go ahead and punch it down. So really, you know, you wanna apply some force. Get reared back and then, well, hang on, let's try that again. Yeah, okay, there we go. So once that's punched down, lightly flour a work surface, dump your dough out and divide it into 8 even pieces. Each piece should weigh roughly 100 to 115 grams each. Now look, this part is really, really easy. Don't overcomplicate it, and it doesn't have to be perfect. All you have to do is take a segment of dough, roll it out about 1/4 inch thick, and you want it to be just slightly less wide than that of your sausage. That way you can just kind of see the tips pointing out a little bit. I think that looks so much nicer, you know? It's kind of cute, like a little face popping out. Some people said it looks like poop. First off, ew. Second off, that's kind of true. Then place your sausage at the end that's closest to you, and then carefully roll it all the way up so that it wraps the whole sausage, and then finish it with the seam side down. Place it on a baking sheet lined with parchment paper, and then repeat the process with the remaining sausage and kolache dough. Now, I personally like to do this on 2 separate baking sheets for each just to give them ample room. You can do it on one if you want, but they probably will end up touching, which is fine. Then just cover them with a damp towel and let them proof for 45 minutes at room temperature. Now, once they've proofed and gotten nice and puffy, you're gonna make an egg wash consisting of just 1 single egg whisked together. Brush each of your kolaches, and you know, if you're feeling real fancy like I always do, you can top them with flaky salt or even a little bit of everything bagel seasoning, which I think is dope. Then place them in an oven at 375 degrees Fahrenheit or 190 degrees Celsius at convection, or 400 degrees Fahrenheit or 204 degrees Celsius, just regular, for about 15 to 18 minutes or until nice and golden brown. Then just take them out, brush them with some melted butter, and well, that's it. That's kolaches. You did it. I mean, you could eat them now, but when that hot sausage fat hits your tongue, you're gonna want to pass out, so. These are great by themselves, but they're perfect with some nice whole grain mustard. But do you want to know what else is perfect with some nice whole grain mustard? B-roll. Alright guys, and that is it. So, plain and simple, you know, it's a quick one. It's a bing bang boom, you put it together, pop pop, in the oven, done. What else do you want to do? Very inspirational, Josh. Thank you. Thank you so much. Very cool. We're gonna talk about my new website. So let's take a quick look at it. We all know that I went with Squarespace because they have a powerful online platform that makes building a beautiful website super easy. You know, with their blogging tools, for example, I was able to categorize and build out all my recipes the way I wanted them. And a lot of you guys that watch me are on your phone, so thankfully their website already has mobile integration, and you can just watch regardless of the device you're on. And the website's gonna go live soon, so you know, hey. But if that doesn't get your stone wet, it's a stupid joke. Then go to squarespace.com/BRoll to get 10% off your first purchase of a domain or website and a free trial. So hey, that's from me and Squarespace to you. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. But anyway, with all that said, if you enjoyed this video or you learned something, leave a like, subscribe, and I will see you next time.